Welcome Amakhosi Network, welcome to the channel. Today we have an interesting topic. Interesting it's going to be Nabi versus Zwane. The story of how Zwane was let down by Chiefs and could have actually won the title of the PSL trophies by now if he had the right kind of support. And a lot of you gonna know that this is a very controversial one. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. So basically, how I got to this topic is I've been watching Kaizer Chiefs under Nabi, and one thing I really picked up under Unabi, Coach Nabi, is that how Nabi plays is very similar to how Zwane played. When we were with Zwane, we used to complain about Usinganga doesn't prepare the team well enough to understand Zwane's football, which is a lot of creating a lot of chances and all of that. And now Zwane also flopped with a weak defense because his defense used to just give away goals like nobody's business. And with that, there came a lot of things that were questioned, that Zwane can't have Abo Mutiba as their goalkeeper coaches, Dylan Shepherd as their assistants. And this thing brought me to this thing that I'm going to chat about today. Shabalala that we're seeing today under Nasreddin Nabi, we had already seen under Zwane. Zwane was the only other coach who was able to make Shabalala play the way we're seeing Shabalala play today. We have to talk facts. It's just that Zwane just became a bit hard on Shabalala because things became a bit hectic under the coaching role. But why am I bringing this up? Because I just wanted to make you guys understand that Zwane, in his first season as Kaizer Chiefs coach, finished number 5 in the league. He finished 5th on the league. In the league, he finished 5th, and he only finished 5th in the league because of one major thing. He lost to Cape Town City on the last day, and then Cape Town City ended up jumping him, and they ended up 4th. Had Zwane beat Cape Town City that day, he would have finished number 4. Why am I bringing this up? Let's chat about it. What has Nasreddin Nabi got that management went and supported Nasreddin, that Zwane didn't have the luxury? Zwane went and played with a pub squad and found a way to finish number 5. Let's start with the first example. Zwane, when he played, he had no striker. We all know Zwane had no striker. Zwane didn't even want to Caleb Bimenyamana. He didn't want to see him because Caleb was not a good striker. But what happened? Kaizer Jr., they ended up saying, hey Baba, you're going to get to Bimenyamana, and that's the only striker you're going to get. Now let's fast forward to today. Nasreddin Nabi has Rangachi Vavero, who is a way better striker than Bimenyamana. But Nasreddin Nabi has still now said, Ranga is not good enough. So now let me ask you the question. If Zwane could identify that Caleb is not good enough and the strikers that were there like Abo Dupree are not good enough, why is it that management did not then go and find him a proper strike? Zwane fails because of that. Number 2, Zwane's technical team was weak. Let's ask us a simple question. Where is the technical team that was working under Zwane today? Where is it? Where? Ask yourself, where are they? But it's simple, guys. Dylan Shepherd is now a coach or assistant coach for the DDC. Mutibe is now the goalkeeper coach for the DDC. Skantonto is the fitness coach for the DDC. These guys have been demoted to the reserve team to go and play with the reserve players. And the only reason these guys have not been fired is because their contracts haven't ended, and Amakhosi Jr., they don't want to pay these guys their contracts. Because if you still have 1 more year or 2 more years, that time you're earning maybe 200K and stuff. Kaizer and them have to then pay you that 200K the day they release you. That day they release you, they must pay you almost $1 million. So imagine if we have 3 members who each of them cost maybe 3 to 4 million, you're gonna be paying between 6 to 9 million to let these guys go. So Amakhosi Jr. was like, instead of letting them go, let's just make them go play with the DDC. So it's better for us that way. We save money. We can get to them later. Sharp. That's the first thing. Why am I saying this? Nasreddin Nabi has 2 assistant coaches. And these assistant coaches are so good that they can be coaches themselves. And they are excellent. Why am I saying this? Yes, we all say the Cruz is gone, but what did Nabi say? Nabi said very clearly that, yeah, the Cruz is gone, but he needs a replacement for the Cruz. Nabi was very clear that he needs a replacement for the Cruz. That's why that ex-Barcelona Burundi coach is now is chatting to that guy to bring that guy as the second assistant. So Nasreddin Nabi had a world professional fitness coach, which Kaizer Jr. himself said he's never seen a fitness coach as good as this guy. Number 1. Number 2, that goalkeeper coach we can all see is fire. Our goalkeeper coach is fire. We lost out on the analyst. That Nasreddin Nabi wanted an analyst. Unfortunately, the analyst chose to go elsewhere. But then he has the first assistant coach that is there. And then he also has the Cruz. Obviously, the Cruz has left, but he wants to replace the Cruz. What am I getting at? Arthur Zwane only had Dylan Shepard and this Hong Kong analysts that were there. Now, you expect Arthur Zwane to deliver what? Arthur Zwane himself wasn't even an experienced coach, but they gave him an even worse and inexperienced technical team. So what are you expecting him to do? I mean, you can even say Molefe Ntseki was there. Who has Molefe Ntseki succeeded in coaching? No one. We all saw what happened last season. So that was Arthur Zwane's second thing. The technical team was pop. Let's go to the next point. The next point is, guys, the general squad was bad. Why do you think Nasreddin Nabi and came and said the team, the squad that is there is weak? But let me tell you a secret. Arthur Zwane's team was way weaker than the team that Nasreddin Nabi inherited. Arthur Zwane's team was weak, guys. Weak. Arthur Zwane just had Matt and Sitebe as defensive midfielders. That is all he had. At least Molefe Ntseki and them had Mtetwa, and then they also had Castillo. You see how different that is. Last season, these guys have Msimango. Msimango is sitting bench to Miguel. But Msimango was a starter last season. And Arthur Zwane wanted Msimango, but they didn't want to give him Msimango. So you see the team that Arthur Zwane was playing with was weak, guys. Was weak. We had Njabulo Ngobo. We just did Kwinika. You see what Arthur Zwane was working with was just not good enough players. And then the wingers, Nabi have Sereno now. Last season, Molefe Ntseki and them, they had Modi, they had Potsani. These are the players they had to try support the team. This even I think they had Tanzania. I'm not sure if Tanzania was there under Arthur Zwane, but Tanzania was also there. But then Arthur Zwane in his time, these players were not there. These players were not there. Arthur Zwane had no Modi, he had no Potsani. These players Arthur Zwane did not have. He didn't that is just what it is. Arthur Zwane was surviving on Dupree and Sahile, which last season those guys failed. They failed. Now, I'm bringing this to say, is it time for us to have a real discussion, which I have been addressing this in prior videos. Was Arthur Zwane good enough to make Chiefs a dominant team, but he just was not supported by management? Management did not put enough resources around Arthur Zwane to produce what Arthur Zwane wanted the team to produce. But even with management doing that, Arthur Zwane still managed to finish number 5 on the log. Last season, we had 2 coaches. Those 2 coaches combined made us finish number 10. This season, we have Nasreddin Nabi. Based on how good Arthur Zwane was with the limited resources, I then expect Nabi to finish nothing less than 4th. Nothing less than 4th. He can't be worse than Arthur Zwane. That is one thing I'm saying. And I'm not putting pressure on Nasreddin Nabi. I'm just speaking what Arthur Zwane had to work with and what Nasreddin Nabi has to work with. And on top of that, Nasreddin Nabi is still saying the squad is pop. So if Nasreddin Nabi says the squad is pop, but last year's team was actually technically better than the team that Arthur Zwane was coaching, Is that not surprising to you? Others Zwane got a pub team to finish number 5, but last season the coaches failed to even make it finish top 8, and now Nabi is complaining about all of those people. So what I'm trying to get at is that in this video, I want to give Zwane his flowers. Zwane in his season was getting hammered by the players. I don't know if this is because you're a foreign coach or, yeah, Zwane's biggest problem, why he didn't succeed as being a coach in South Africa. He has 2 big problems. Number 1, maybe not 2, maybe 3 or 4, but these are the main ones. Number 1, he's a South African coach. South African coaches don't get to dictate what they need to succeed. They often get given the bare minimum and then they say, Baba, make a plan. But when an international coach comes, he's allowed to bring his assistant, his father, his grandfather, his auntie, his uncle to come and coach the team, and the team allows. But when you say Zwane, who do you want? When Zwane goes and coaches, they don't say, who do you want? They say, these are the people we're going to give you. And then that is what he has to deal with, because no one can tell me today that Zwane could proper pick for himself technical team members that he wanted. I don't believe that is the case. I just believe he accepted what he was given. But anyway, Zwane wasn't able to sign the players that he wanted. This is another thing that contributed to Zwane, basically him not succeeding. And I'm bringing these things up because I want to give Zwane his flowers, because had Zwane had all the support from management, had he had the right to buy players and all of these things, I think Zwane could have maybe thrived as a Kaizer Chiefs coach. And another thing is that Zwane was his first year in coaching, so he had to be supported by being given better technical team members with experience, so that he can just drive the ideology of the team, and then the other guys support where they can support defensively, and also because we know defense was also a problem for Zwane, etc. But anyway, that is all I wanted to say for today, and I wanted to give Zwane his flowers. Zwane showed us players like Abom Dushabalala. He showed us players like Abo Duba. Yes, he didn't really play Duba, but we saw what was there. He showed us Abo Ngobo. He showed us the youngsters, he also showed us some Kelo Zwane, so he showed us what the youngsters are about. But then management just didn't believe in him, and it goes back to the points I'm saying. Zwane failed because he's a South African coach. South African coaches don't get to dictate what they want. Because the second other thing I forgot to mention is that he also failed because he's close to Kaizer Chiefs, so he doesn't want to step on any feathers. That's another thing that just made him fail. Because when you're a foreign coach, you come and say, I'm only taking this job if I get to bring my technical team, if I can sign my players, etc., etc. Now, as Zwane, can you really say those things? No, because you're a South African coach. South African coaches don't have the power. Unless even Pito, as good as Pito is, he could only experience the power he could experience at Sundowns, who is willing to buy Umhlaba Wonk, the whole planet, to help you win the Champions League. That is the only place Pito could really, really show his muscle. Because if we tried to come to Chiefs, it was going to be a problem. He was going to be fighting in the dressing room and in the management office with Abo Bobe. Let us sign a player, man. Sign. So that's what I think was going to happen. But anyway, Amakhosi for life. Tell me what you guys think. Zwane, could he have actually had a successful career as a coach if he just had the right technical team, the right players, the right support from management? Could he have been a better coach? And could he have actually won titles for us? Amakhosi.